final word.
No doubt. No doubt.
What's up, fellas? What's up? What's good? What's good, man? What's good? Everybody up? What's good? Wake up. Wake up.
Man, super
Wake up.
good. You know, it's that
good.
It's that time where we getting ready to go through the finals and it's going to be dead. Just
Right.
baseball.
But it's about to get live, though, because camp is like, what, 2-3 weeks away? 2.5 weeks
Getting
away?
ready to get so live.
It's close.
that
It's right
camp
around
is-
the corner.
The camp is going to be crunk this year. I think this mainly because, you know, like we had talked about with, you know, Dan Quinn there. Obviously, Dak is back. You know, Mike McCarthy's second year. You got your rookies. You got your second-year players, Dallas we want to see. And I just think there's going to be a lot of content creators down there as well, more than I think it's been in ever. Maybe since, well, I don't know how long. I haven't been this thing that long, but wouldn't you say, Law, this will be one of the first times it's going to have this many content creators down there as well? Be kind of nice.
Yeah, man, it's going to have a lot of people out there that's representing the YouTube community, the Facebook community, and beyond. So here's the thing that I like, Big Game James. Instead of like the national media, we're like from NFL Network or from HBO or from anywhere else, man, you guys going to get the raw and uncut version of it from our perspectives.
Right.
That way people
Right.
can identify
Right.
with it from the everyday fan base. So I like it better this way, the raw and uncut version.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna give
like
it to
that
y'all
raw and
raw.
uncut stuff. Yeah, you
Yeah.
like that raw and uncut. You like that blue magic.
Oh yeah.
straight to the vein, through the toe.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Right
No
to the
chaser,
vein.
baby.
No chaser on that one, dog.
See, wait a second, Big Game. Like, everybody's not familiar with the things about which you speak, all right? So if they don't know, we're not going to interpret, man. We're going to keep this thing moving, man. So
Just
No
watch the show.
interpretation for the
Watch the
nation.
movie.
No, yeah, just watch. Yeah, just watch that.
Yeah, man. But
So what's up, fellas, man? What's going on? How's everybody doing?
man, super chilling, man. I'm doing good. I'm relaxing. I'm just kind of enjoying the vibe of my brothers, you know, because we got a lot of content we can talk about, but we kind of cruise controlling right now. So just kind of hearing what's on your mind. I didn't hear from the OC. What you got, my brother?
You know, I'm really excited to see the bounce back season of Ezekiel Elliott. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this thing up just a little bit, man. I mean, he's posting YouTube videos of drills he's going through with the guru coach, man. And you know, I don't know what you guys think, man, but I mean, I'm seeing a level of shiftiness and a level of quickness that I haven't seen from him in terms of his footwork, at least without pads on, since he came into the league, man. So I'm anticipating an extremely productive bounce back season from Zeke, man. What y'all think about that?
I
Well-
would definitely feel you on that.
Facts.
Go ahead, Law.
Oh well, I was gonna say that on Big Game James, you had posted a video of him doing all of those cuts. I think it's over 250,000 views, and that let everybody know that a lot of attention is on him. Eyeballs are ready to see
Yeah.
what Ezekiel Elliott
Well
will
said.
bring to the table. And I would tell people right now, his footwork, his shiftiness, we have not seen this since 2016. So it looks and appears that Ezekiel, let me say his full government name, by the way, Elijah Elliott.
Preacher.
I mean, he's ready to, he's ready to take this thing over because he's hearing. You know, a lot of times, boss and the OC, Big Game James, a lot of times people think that these players are not listening. You know they hearing what everybody is saying. CMC is better. Henry can run over anything. Oh, we got players like Cam Akers, whoever else that's out there that's better than Ezekiel Elliott, and him being sullied and denigrated and put down, and everybody saying, okay, even Tony Pollard is better than Ezekiel. Don't y'all know that when you are an alpha male, you ready to bite, you ready to fight, you ready to showcase to the world and prove everybody wrong, that I'm ready to come out here and get it happen,
Man.
and make it happen. Let's go.
And so this is what I like, Law. This is what I like, man, because the best of the best, they have this little itch and they take it personal. See, just like you said, everybody's been talking about Zeke. He's overweight. He's on the downslide, even though he's only 25, right? He doesn't turn 26 until the end of this month. You know, and so the best of the best take it personal, Boss Cowboy. They show up with a chip on their shoulder, and they going to be ready to rock. And I'm excited to see what he does. He's going to be ready to rock this year.
Yeah, no, it's no doubt. And I'm so happy because, you know, when I look at Zeke and I look at his game, one of the things that I've been praying for since Zeke got here, man, was him to work on agility. Because we all know the history of running backs, that those hits add up. And as they're adding up, you know, it can take you out if he's as physical as he was when he first started. So I'm glad to see that he's starting to change his game at the right time to prolong his career. And I don't want Zeke to go back to tough man Zeke. I want to always see this Zeke. I want this Zeke to finish, you know, because if we see this Zeke finish, man, we gonna get at least 3 more really, really, really good years out of this Zeke, you know. So I'm excited, all the way excited for Zeke, man, and I'm glad that he getting ready to like light it up. Because lastly, you can't stop Zeke. It's just too much offense. You can't just focus on Zeke. It's gonna be amazing what we getting ready to see out of Zeke.
I know Big Game James getting those words together. But before you go, let me jump right on in again, Big Game James.
Go ahead.
In 2016, the echoes of the Dallas Cowboys front five, it's fantastic. And then you add in the aspect of what Ezekiel Elliott brought to the table. A lot of people were saying, man, this is almost going to be like not fair for the league, right? Because you had Tony Romo, who was a veteran quarterback. And although he went down, the aspect of drafting Ezekiel Elliott was to be run dominant, and you have a quarterback that season. So now let's fast forward to 2021. What happened in between that time? For all of the Washington fans that's out there and some of the Giants fans out there, newsflash. We impacted and changed the way in the philosophy where you guys were drafting, because they drafted those big boys up front to slow down the pace and what Ezekiel Elliott was going to bring to the table.
Right.
So that's why you got all of those Bama boys over there in Washington. That's why the acquisition for the Giants, they went and got a Dexter Lawrence and all of those boys that's inside to stop down and slow down Ezekiel Elliott. Now, of course, it's been a couple of years to pass by. We saw a young quarterback develop into a quarterback can now take advantage of the single high safety look and throw the ball on the outside. So what I'm trying to say is, Cowboy Nation, somebody got to give. I don't think that team's going to be able to still load the box and have 8 and 9 man fronts because of the fact that you got a quarterback that can pick you apart. Now you got a running back who's healthier, leaner, shiftier, like his 2016 self, and if you fool around and you get light body work inside the box, let's say, for example, it's not the single high safety look against Tampa Bay land, it's going to be crazy. And I'm not trying to pump up Ezekiel Elliott. No, that's not my game. But what I'm saying is that watch what it looked like when you're not going to have 8-9 men in the box. You got Ezekiel Elliott with the ball in his belly.
See, I like what you're talking, Law. I like what you're talking right there, Law, because now you're talking strategy. You're talking strategy. And see, and this is the whole thing. And I'm just going to expound on that point, because if the offensive line stays healthy, the one-on-one matchups will favor the Dallas Cowboys. Now we can combo up to your linebackers and we can keep Ezekiel clean. And this is the only place I want to see Ezekiel get physical. I want to see him get physical on the second level. I want to see him physical against DBs and safeties. That's the only place I want to see him ultra physical. Other than that, footwork, shifting, turning, and taking hits light on one shoulder. I don't want you going heads up with 260-pound linebackers or defensive tackles. So now you get into a situation that you have to pick your poison. With the emergence and having CeeDee Lamb, having Amari Cooper, having Gallup, and having even some of the other receivers that we have, our 5 and 6 receivers, now you got to pick. Who do you want to take out the game? You can't take everybody out of the game, and eventually you're going to have to go to a cover 2. That's where the Cowboys are going to excel in terms of the offensive scheme. If I can get you to play even and get you to play cover 2 coverage, now you cannot load the box, because if I see that safety walking down, I'm going to audible out of this thing and I'm going to hit you with something that's going to make you feel real bad about yourself when we get a quick 6 points. And so that's the aspect about the schemes and the nuances that we'll see this year, I think, with a fully healthy and engaged Ezekiel Elliott.
There we go.
Yeah, and we haven't talked since that Hard Knocks announcement.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't talked to nobody. So, and listen, y'all check this out. I want y'all to really hear this, because I forgot that I had this, but this is super perfect. Y'all check this out. Check this out. Let me play this.
But hey, this is important too, and I don't want to jinx it.
Okay.
This is as close as I can remember the Cowboys ever coming to just kind of sitting in the cut. Like, nobody's really talking about them. There's not any drama surrounding them. Like, I mean, we still got a month to go. Yeah, knock on that wood. But like, and there's no crazy contract disputes. Nobody's in the news for the wrong reasons. And nobody's really, like, there's not that much hype around the Cowboys right now, which is exactly where you want to be. So hopefully they can just keep this up for another month.
Right.
3 days later, they announced Hard Knocks.
Y'all didn't knock on the wood hard enough, man. I blame all 3 of y'all.
I said the exact same thing, bro. I promise. I said we didn't knock on their wood hard. 3 days after he said that, man, they announced Hard Knocks. I said, God damn. And you said something about Dave. You said, Dave, say the opposite. I think that was what you said. It was
say the opposite, man.
3 days. So, Law, let's start with you, man. What's your thoughts? And it's exciting though. We gonna learn a lot. I want to get your thoughts though.
Man, it's a twofold situation. The casual fan, oh my goodness, this is you in hog heaven basically. You got all of this stuff, the good stuff, man. I'm telling you, man, you got everything you want out of this situation. Extra plate of ribs, a side salad, might as well throw that out the way. A side spaghetti, because that's what Botch Lombardi, he says spaghetti is a side dish. So you got side that, you got all of this food out here that you can just eat, and it's called the Dallas Cowboys from a casual fan, dare I say. But from a analytical guy like you, Big Game James, the OC, oh my goodness! All you sitting there like, man, we doing installments, right? We doing installments. You got Dan Quinn, who's new to the area, don't know how to get from A to B, first time ever been out there in Oxnard, for crying out loud. He's gonna be so confused because you got cameras everywhere, right. And then on top of that, you got all of these rookies that's coming in. Look, I tell people all the time, when you got a bunch of rookies, there's a bunch of growing pains. So it's just one of those things where it's on one end, you're getting all of the good stuff, but on the other end, it's a lot of distraction.
Big.
It ain't bothering me.
You cool? You good?
Yeah, it's not bothering me. Because Dallas is the Dallas Cowboys. They got 20 million cameras on them every single day.
Right.
What is going to change with HBO Hard Knocks? Dallas is in the news, whether they win, whether they lose. They always in the news. So what should be any different? There's always cameras in their face. There's always media around them. There's always been a circus. So I don't know how this is going to change anything. And also, I'm going to just say this. You got Dak Prescott, who is the unquestioned leader, and I'm just thinking in my head that I feel like this is more of a veteran staff on the offensive side, especially. I feel like that leadership is going to take over, and I feel like Dak is going to be talking to these guys that don't be getting all starry-eyed because HBO is here. Let's make sure we stay with our eyes focused on what we need to do and what we need to take care of. I feel like that leadership is going to take over, especially with Dak being in the building, and I feel like it's not going to be as big as this thing as it has maybe prior, because maybe you didn't have that quarterback was taking over that leadership role when you had some hard knocks before. You get what I'm saying? I feel like you have an established leader. That wasn't going on when the hard knocks. You have that with Dak. We haven't had it with Dak. And I feel like with him being there, and I feel like he is going to really have these guys focused. And I don't think that's going to be a bigger distraction as a lot of people are trying to say it is.
I like your point. I can fight you on some of it, though.
You can fight me all day.
Yeah,
I can fight you back.
Hey, let's, put him up. Because, see,
put him up.
Mike McCarthy, he showed in the blue and white scrimmage last year that he liked to keep them cameras off plays. And you're right. I definitely agree with you, Big. I agree with you 100% that, we a circus anyway. But at the same time, this puts some pressure on Mike, and this puts an extra workload on Mike that he wasn't anticipating.
You don't think Mike already had? I didn't mean to interrupt you. You don't think Mike McCarthy already has pressure? This is year 2. They had a bad year last year. You always got the pressure.
Okay, so it's like, you work, I work, we all work. And when you got a full plate, the last thing you want to do is see the secretary come throw some more work on your plate. Right? You know what I mean? Come on, man. Same thing with a real plate. When you full, the last thing you want, even when you love the food, is don't put no more on there, man. Let me digest this. That's what I'm talking about. Right. It's the fact that they throwing so much on his plate right now, and it's a must-win year. Like me and you discussed, Big. Like we talked about this a lot. That some people even looking at this that he could be teetering on a hot seat, and if you teetering on a hot seat, So if you're on a hot seat, my man, you gotta hate this right now. I mean, that's my only pushback.
You said pressure is privilege. You said
I did say that, but say it's in context. I ain't trying to add. See, let me say the context of that. That was slick by you. That was smooth.
You like that?
That was smooth. That was smooth.
You
saved that one. I like that.
That was real good.
Hey, you know what? I got to give you your props on that because I don't usually get like clean.
He had no words for that OC, did he?
Yeah,
that was a clean shot.
I said, whoa. The man
that
quoted
was a clean
me.
shot. Clean, super clean.
You don't do that. You don't quote me.
Look, boss was like, he said, all right.
Yeah, that was a true stutter. But the context of pressure being a privilege, I love you too, bro, is the pressure being a privilege is the fact that after the pressure is applied, then you look at it as a privilege. But you don't just ask for pressure so that you can call it a privilege.
He asked for it when he became the Dallas Cowboys coach.
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibilities, as they say, huh?
You feel me?
Whom much is given.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
To whom much is given, much is required.
No, go ahead, OC.
Yeah.
No, I mean, listen, I'm going to jump in here just real quick. I've been quiet observing this whole thing. And listen, here's the deal. The deal is this, is that the NFL, much like any big corporation, especially with the Dallas Cowboys, this is a nonstop job interview. So this is a job interview for the coaches. This is a job interview for the players. And so this will be another interview in terms of how you deal with situations and scenarios and how well you can manage. If you're a player, it's how well can you stay focused and execute your responsibilities. Now, if I'm a player and I got tons of cameras on me, listen, I'm going to amp up my performance. I want to look good in front of HBO. I want to have a good performance in front of all those cameras. So it should be a test of seeing how well you compete in this environment. And then also it should be an indication to the staff and also to the management of who are our long-term players in terms of maturity, in terms of guys I really can trust, or guys I need to keep an eye on based on how they deal with this whole circus of being on HBO. So I think it's a lot of good to it. And I think that it can bring out good and bad. And I think that pressure causes the cream of the crop to rise to the top. So actually, in essence of where you want to go long term, actually, I'm fine with it.
Man, y'all getting on my nerves, man.
Speak your mind.
Man, they killing me. We will be okay, man. Listen. All right. We actually have a former head coach. I think we need to just listen and then let's big game. I'm talking to you, big dog, big homie,
Yeah,
big
I
brother.
already heard it, so I'm ready. I'm ready to come at you because I already listened to all of it. So let's go.
That's my dog, boy. Here we go, but let's get right into it, man. All right, here we go, man. Let me push this button because y'all getting on my nerves. Yeah, here we go.
The Cowboys are going to be featured on Hard Knocks, and you were the head coach back the first time they were on Hard Knocks. What do you take away from that experience?
Well, first of all, it's a little bit invasive, and that's the thing that I think that is a little tough. The one thing about the Cowboys, you're certainly the marketing part of the Cowboys. It's a great thing because everybody in the country gets an opportunity to either whether you like it or like the Cowboys or not. It's a good thing for the club, but for the players, it's not bad because I think they like the idea of being on camera and the national people seeing them every week. But for the coaching staff, especially in a year where you have a little bit of pressure on you to win, it's a little bit tougher, because you're constantly in the eye. And I think for Coach McCarthy, it might not be his favorite thing.
Did you hear that, Big? He was talking to you right
Yeah,
there.
it might not be his favorite thing, but once again, that doesn't mean that's going to be an unsuccessful year. That means maybe you need to step up your game too and coach really good because you do have a lot of pressure on you. You signed that dotted line when you came to Dallas Cowboys coach to nothing but pressure. You jumped out of Green Bay pressure.
I'm liking this.
To all kind of crazy pressure up in here.
25
so
million.
now you can't. You feel me? You can't run away from no pressure now. Nobody's feeling sorry for no Mike McCarthy right now, dog. Just because you got HBO Hard Knocks on you, step your game up. You had had a COVID season, but this year you need to win. You already have pressure on you. You need to win. So, hey, it might be bad on the coaches that the cameras on them, but as OC was saying, that you get to see the pressure of the cream of the crop rises. So you're going to see a lot of guys who have the camera on them. And guess what? If you can't perform with these cameras on you from HBO, maybe you ain't the one that's going to be performing in these games.
Hey,
25 million.
25 lighters on the dresser.
Yes, sir.
Listen. I gotta say this, Big. You talk me into it.
Perfect.
Just straight up.
I love that. Perfect.
Hey,
perfect.
but I ain't too sure if you talk me into it, man. I ain't too sure.
Yeah, you sure? You sure? We're gonna be okay. Hold up before you finish that. Boss. Listen to this though. Listen what Dave Campo, who was his quarterback in 2000?
Quincy.
Exactly.
Quincy.
Exactly. No hate on Quincy. Quincy cool, man. Quincy cool, but I'm just saying, you feel me? The Hard Knocks, the guys that was the quarterback, I'm sorry, they weren't Dak Prescott leaders. And I just feel like Dak is going to talk to this team.
This big game, James.
Okay.
The difference of the calibers of coach Dave Campo. They had good defense or what have you. Yes, they went 5-11. And with that same quarterback that you said there, I say Quincy, this guy named Bill Parcells, a different level of focus, point, and coaching. He took that same Quincy, and excuse me, did they go 10-6? I could be wrong. Can somebody help me out with that historical?
We can also
data?
say, I'm also say this: Bill Parcells, Dave Campo.
Well,
has Dave Campo coached anywhere else as a head coach ever?
No.
And will he? He went right into retirement.
And then came back for the Cowboys for another cup of coffee, I believe.
You feel me? So you get what I'm saying?
My thing is,
I different coaches though.
Here. I got an analogy here that I always like to bring up when you're talking about focus. Everybody in here right now, we can see y'all. There's a thing called light. They got light shining on you. Don't y'all know the difference between a light bulb and a laser beam? It's that pause right there. Y'all think.
What's that?
They both beams alike, the same light. I was thinking. Look, one is more focused. A laser beam can cut through anything on this earth, but they both beams alike. One is focused in. And all I'm saying is that this particular Dallas Cowboys, regardless of how much talent they got, all of the light in the world, if they're not focused, then they ain't gonna get the job done. That's all I'm saying. So, like you lamented, Dak Prescott is one hell of a leader. But like my dog OC just said earlier too, heavy is the crowd. But my thing is, yes, shoulders are built for pressure, and pressure is a privilege and all of these sorts of things. But why absolutely opening up that box or that Pandora box when you don't have to? Jerry already made his billions. He could have said, hey, I pass on this one, man, because we just not coming off of this.
I heard
pandemic.
They couldn't pass though.
They couldn't.
I heard they couldn't pass. I heard that when they did the Hard Knocks, they would go through teams, and I heard that the Cowboys could not turn it down if they were a mix of the teams that they were going to go with, that they couldn't turn it down. And let's be honest, dog, Jerry wasn't going to turn that down anyway. This is the Dallas Cowboys. This is Jerry Jones, bro. Jerry ain't doing that. And my thing is this: if the Dallas Cowboys in 2021 are going to crumble because we ain't focused up because of HBO, we don't deserve to be there. No way.
Man, hold up. Listen. All right.
Shouldn't be no HBO that's distracting us, so we can't go do what we need to do.
No, check this out.
Listen. I'm gonna
go ahead.
Well, listen. I'm gonna give the antithesis of this point. I do believe that to whom much is given, much is required. I do believe that 5 years and $25 million, that it comes with the territory if you coach here, right? But I will say the focus does have to be, to your point, Law, in a different way, laser sharp. Because there have only been 3 teams that have been featured on Hard Knocks to make the playoffs. Only 3 of them, okay? The 2013 Cincinnati Bengals, the 2015 Houston Texans, and the 2020 Los Angeles Rams. Everyone else has had a losing season. So I can say that to be balanced, we may need to look at this a little bit more careful and be just a little bit more fluid, because this can dramatically impact preparation. If you don't plan this and deal with this with your coaching staff, and you guys are not in sync, and you don't have the maturity and the strategy to get around the cameras, to do the things you need to do to keep everybody focused, it could affect your preliminary preparation.
Ooh. Speaking of that, I want to play something. I think it's appropriate. All right. Play this real quick. All right.
The cameras are on you, and there's a microphone there, and you're a human being. How do you keep yourself from performing just a little bit, or can you?
Well, you really can't in a way, because you're being looked at every second. You really can't in a way, because you're being looked at every. You really can't in a way, because you're being looked at every second.
Says focus is too much on marketing?
Well, I think there is a correlation between, when there's so much marketing and there's so much, notoriety, I think the players in a lot of ways become entitled. For example, For example, you see how tough it is, for example, when a team wins a Super Bowl, to come back and win it again the next year. Back-to-back is very, very tough when all they're hearing is how good they are, what's going on with them. They're on TV all the time. Those things are distractions. And I think that's, those things are distractions. Those things are distractions. Those things are distractions. And I think that's an issue that is out there.
Oh, can I say this right quick while he was talking?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What was Dallas' record last year?
Boo boo and boo boo.
6-10. 6-10, I believe. Yeah.
Right. So I was hearing Dave Campos saying about successful teams. They had to win back to back. It's harder for them to win back to back. When's Dallas been successful?
Oh my gosh! Shout out to Dave Campos. Is he the 5-11?
But that wasn't the point, Big. That wasn't the point.
I'm
we was talking
just-
about
But-
the
but
It is a
like-
point. It is a
but
point.
I like
It is
your
a
point.
point.
It's your
I like
point.
his point.
That's
I
no,
like his
no.
point.
You like the out of context point. The
No,
in
don't put
context
words
that he
in
was
my
talking
mouth,
about
Boss
the
Cowboy.
entitlement.
No, Boss Cowboy. Hold
No.
on. Don't put
Yeah,
words in my mouth.
Can
No.
OC talk on this one?
Just let me
yeah.
say
Because-
one thing.
I sit
I'll
back
be
in the
quiet. Just one
Go.
quick thing.
Go
I'll
ahead.
be quiet. I promise. Okay. Listen, the big thing that causes me to have pause, just a little pause. I'm not saying that Dave Campo is wrong here, but Dave Campo has been
dare
a
you.
very, 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 very unsuccessful head coach.
Oh my God.
So that is what causes me to kind of double take what I'm hearing and put it in context. And I'm trying to chew the meat, Boss Cowboy, and spit out the bones. Okay, can you help me? That is what causes me to have a little pause here. I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all know me. When y'all,
Oh, there he is. Oh,
Oh, he got
when I put on these glasses, I'm seeing this thing clear. And everybody, it's a lot of tripping going on right now. So this is, the man just said it's a distraction. Okay. He also talked about in that interview the fact that even a preseason game in Japan was giving Jimmy Johnson fits because he was saying that he was one of the best coaches at being fully focused on football. So I think we making too light of this. That's what's actually going on. We making too light of this when it's a man is coaching for his job and they throw this massive amount of pressure on him. It's just, it's just nothing to act like it's no big deal. This is a big deal. It's something that we go get through. It's something that he got to put on his big boy pants. But I'm also, looking at it for what it is, that it's going to have some negative effects. And it's true negative effects. Distractions are real. Distractions take away from preparation. Preparation causes a lack of execution, and a lack of execution can cause you to lose early games. It can be a full domino effect. So it's one of those things that I want to look at this from its whole picture, not just like I get over it. It is what it is. Let HBO in the building. Because one of the things I also say is Mike McCarthy can do some things to make it work for him too. Like he can use this as a smoke screen.
right.
He can use this to put out diversions to try to throw teams off. So it's not all bad, It's just that it's an increased workload. You also know, and they made this clear, a lot of coaches are going to be stunting for the cameras. They're going to be trying to show off and stuff, and they're going to be knowing that the world is looking, and it's going to take away from football. It is.
And not just that. Think about this, collectively speaking. Not only that the Cowboys are doing the Hard Knocks groove, you got to put into context that they're also doing the Hall of Fame game. I know that a lot of people will look at it and say it's just an exhibition game. It's not going to take this much away. But we plan a trip to go to Oxnard, and I can guarantee you there's a 3 to 4 day disturbance of loading up all of your young guys, flying them all the way across the globe there to go play in or to go show up into a game, a meaningless game at that, and that takes away from preparation. While, hear me out, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they focus in on week 1.
Yeah.
They focus in on, okay, here's their strong suit. Let's take this away. So there's a two-folds to it. Whereas the casual fans, we get a chance, an opportunity to see our team.
Right.
While the team that just won the Super Bowl
It's locked.
still high off of their success, get a chance to reel it back in and go in and say we're focusing on week 1. There's no camera. There's no Hall of Fame game for us. And I'm not saying that we're going to lose, because I'm quite sure we can beat the hell out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. But they don't have that extra. You can go ahead and put the P word on there. Pressure or stress. They don't have that.
Right.
They the Super Bowl winning champs.
Right.
You would think that Kansas City Chiefs, they do a piece on them for crying out loud. I digress.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Go Skrill, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, real talk. I mean, it is. But once again, I'm going to just say this, fellas. Jerry ain't never changing. Yeah. So when we keep on talking about we go in this evil, dirty circle, we don't like it. But why is this reason why we go in this circle? Jerry is not changing. We want to be low key. Jerry is never going to be low key. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that Jerry ain't never changing. So as the players should already know how he is, they need to adapt and adjust, right? Because they know Jerry is the showman. They know Jerry is the salesman. They know Jerry's going to jump out there and always put out the Dallas Cowboys. So that is why I'm talking about, once again, the leadership within the Cowboys has to be strong.
Have to be.
Dak Prescott. Those guys have to be able to, what we're talking about, HBO being in your face and marketing this and that. Well, if you got strong type leadership, I think we've all played sports, right, y'all? We've all been with the team, and we've played with hype teams. I'm sure we have, but we've also talked with amongst our teammates and said, "Look, fellas, we know it's crazy out there, but we got to stay focused." And if we're talking to ourselves in that locker room saying we need to be focused and don't worry about that outside stuff out there, you can break through that stuff that we're talking about with HBO. But that leadership has to be strong. And I think when you have the going into these other camps where they said, OC said that a lot of these teams to make the playoffs, only 3 teams made it. I think it does take that leadership came in there and said, hey, man, we got to stay focused on this. We have to stay focused. And I just feel like Dak Prescott, this keeps coming to me, that Dak Prescott is up in here, and I just feel like he's not going to allow that. I feel like he's going to be talking to this team and saying, fellas, we got to stay focused. We have to stay focused. And he has a strong voice. When Dak Prescott talks, he like E.F. Hutton. Is that what it was? When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. That's Dak Prescott. When he talks, they're going to listen. And I think he's really going to be on these guys to say, let's stay. We know what this is. Let's stay the course. Let's stay focused. Like I said, we seen Ezekiel Elliott. We talked about him early in the show. This is a whole different Ezekiel Elliott. I think one of the reasons why Dak Prescott motivates him. He motivates everybody. Get up off your butt and do your job. And maybe HBO could be a distraction. I'm not saying it's great. I wanted it. But I just feel like Dak is really going to step up and control that locker room and say, don't fall for this. We have to stay focused, because guess what? We weren't 10-6 last year. We weren't 11-5. We weren't 12-4. We were 6-10. And the year before that, we was 8-8. You get what I'm saying? And the last 3 of the 4 last years, we haven't made the playoffs. So they shouldn't even be going in the cameras at HBO trying to show off. We was a losing team last year.
Yeah, but to channel your energy on that big game, James, there's a quarterback that echoed the exact same thing that you talked about. Yeah, let me hit that perfect button one more time before I bring up this quarterback. Let me hit that perfect. Yeah, that quarterback name is Troy Aikman. In 1995, he said we collectively had to win in spite of the coaches. He had to will this team. And we all know that the playmaker, Irvin, was the leader of the team. And Emmitt Smith was that solid constant on this team. It's a consistent situation. But Troy said, hey, we have to win. And I'm going to have to find that clip for you, boss. Yeah. So that we can play this and echo this throughout all of the Cowboys airwaves.
Right.
But now what has happened, collectively speaking, Dak Prescott got to channel that Troy Aikman's leadership mentality and say, We got to multiply it now. We have to win, not just in spite of the coaches, in spite of social media, in spite of HBO, in spite of the 4-ladder network, in spite of anything else, the outside noise. And we have to get out there and lace them up, roll them up, and not look for any favors because we're not going to get it. Look what happened in the previous years. We're going to have to win in spite of all of this stuff. And Dak Prescott should be that guy that can will everybody to that winning grace. And even Boss Man Fat, he said this year, we winning in Dallas. When Julio Jones said, hey, he don't want to go to Dallas and all this stuff. But Boss Man, the young, said we winning in Dallas. Let's echo all of that. And it can come from leadership.
Yeah.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big game, James.
Game changer.
Hey, let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Yeah, I know y'all saying why you hit
I
that
like
button.
I like when you bring that in though.
Nah,
I just want to tell you
because you know what? I gotta give your flowers, big dog. I gotta give your flowers, big dog. Like I really do. Big game, you went hard.
Yes, sir.
Because the big game, because the game changes, Dak, bro. You right. Yeah. I think you identified it. I think you, because it's like, why cry? Like I was doing. Like you said it best. The reality of what we dealing with is Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. They already got 3 rings, so they go always look at it like get the money and try to get the rings. We not sacrificing no more big money for rings. We got rings. So where is the leadership go come from? I think you hit that dead on the head, bro. And it also means that it's possible. You gave an angle of how we can do it, and it's gonna have to come from Dak. I mean, and others. I don't want to put it all on Dak. It's gonna take a combination of guys because we always bring up those 90s, but those 90s had a lot of leaders. Nate Newton was a leader. Michael Irvin was a leader. Haley was a leader. Haley went in there and told them, y'all ain't nobody, you know?
Please
that leadership is key. You know what I'm saying? Like we all talk about it just right now. The 90s teams, why were they so good? Yeah, they was wild. Yeah, they was crazy. We knew they was wild. We knew they was crazy. But they came together as a team, and they came together in football. That leadership was so strong, and just like what Law was talking about, that leadership overcame the coaches with Barry Switzer. I mean, let's keep it real, man.
Well said, Law.
I'm not dissing no Barry Switzer, bro, but come on, man. That was Jimmy Johnson's players. Barry Switzer didn't come in and say, oh, man, Barry Switzer's a great NFL coach. No, that was them boys have been there. They've been trained mentally, and they said, we have to continue to do this even with our leader not here.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of like when John Gruden took over that Tampa Bay team, and it was really Tony Dungy's players. You know, I'm being messy, but you know, it's exactly the same situation. And hey, John Gruden ran that thing up for years. He's been running it up for years on that Super Bowl win, man. Those were Tony Dungy's players. But yeah, absolutely, man. Great point, big game.
Hey, I wanted to kind of show one more thing from a clip wise that's encouraging and confirmation. Matter of fact, OC, could you expound on that real quick?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, here's a whole component that I think will be nuances within the team. And this is why I think that the Cowboys can, given the positive side of the argument, get through the hard knock situation. It's because they have a veteran offensive group. They have D-Law. Right? They have just enough veteran presence on that team to be able to corral the young guys and say, hey, guys, let's lock in, let's stay focused. And with how the draft went, with Dan Quinn's imprint on that draft and the variety of young players in key positions, we know that it's going to be a super competitive camp. We've talked about this before, that it's going to be a camp to where you are going to have to fight for your reps, fight for your position, and try to actually make that 53-man roster. So if you out there dilly-dallying and being too cute, you may find yourself with some walking papers. And so that's why I think that it's ultra incentive for veterans veterans and rookies alike on the positive side of it to come locked in. I don't care how many cameras there.
Hey, I want to play this real quick. Y'all check this out.
I think the COVID issue was a tremendous, detriment to every team. I think the one thing that happened with the Cowboys, though, I like Mike Nolan. His dad was with us when we first got there, and he was one of my idols growing up. But I believe what happened there is they tried to do too much. The one thing about Mike Nolan's scheme is it was very very intricate. There were a lot of things to it. It wasn't a simple system. And you add that to young players and then doing everything without being in the room with them, it becomes a problem. Now, Quinn, on the other hand, his system is pretty simple. And if you've got good players, which I think the Cowboys have some decent players now, I think that when you're not being, when you're in a situation where you have some young players, you want to be as simple as possible, but do enough to get you there. And I think their defensive ends are good enough to rush the passer, whether they're outside linebackers in a 3-4 or an end. And I think they've helped themselves a little bit in the secondary. So I think they're going to improve. The proof of the pudding is going to be, what happens on the field.
Good stuff.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
And confirmation to what a lot of us have said a lot, and confirmation of what Sean Lee said. Remember, Sean Lee was on the Herd, and he was talking about that they simplified the system. It's also showing that the indicators of a 4-3, a one-gap system, which means simplified. It's, so I know we're talking about Hard Knocks, but he brought more commentary other than just the drama of Hard Knocks. He also shed some light. That's confirmation to like what I heard you say, Law, what I heard you say, OC, Big Game, a combination of all of us who never obviously talked to him, been saying some of this stuff, which is right in line to a much improved defense. I want to get y'all thoughts on that real quick.
Well, I know, in my opinion, we all should understand. I think we all know that it can't get worse than it was last year, so it's got to be better. It can't be worse. It can't be. It can't be like that was just bad. They got 2 years in a row. Heck no. So obviously it is going to be better. And just like we talked about, Boss, me and you've been talking about on show after show when we do our Saturday show, we talked about the Rob Marinelli Apologist Tour. We talked about how they stressed it when they were looking for a defensive coach. What was the thing they kept on saying? We want to get our defense back to 2018.
Yes.
That's what they kept saying. We want to get back to that 2018 defense. And what was that? When they were playing free, they were playing one gap system. They were in attack mode. They didn't have to think about everything. And we all know prior when Mike Nolan came on board that he had a complicated defense. We knew that before that. So it was kind of like, you already know you got this complicated defense. You got COVID going on. As a coach, did you really think that was going to work if you couldn't do it on the field and you got a complicated scheme and you can't do no practice time and then you got like 30 days and then you're doing virtual meetings teaching the defense? That was just set up for disaster. You feel me, dog? Like that was just telling you that's going to be bad. So I just feel like it's just going to be an easier way. And the players are already one thing about the Quinn Nolan thing, OC, Boss, Law, we know when we play you don't have to like every coach, but it does kind of help. Right. You know what I'm saying? It does kind of help when you actually do like your coach. And I feel like they really will want to go to bat for a Dan Quinn more than a Mike Nolan. I think that makes a big difference, fellas. It makes a big difference when you're not happy and you're playing on and you just, I ain't going hard on this play. You get what I'm saying? Let's not act like players don't do that because they don't like the coach or something. Don't act like they may not give up on a play. And I feel like that was going on especially on that defense because they weren't feeling him. So I'm a little just excited for Quinn because when the players are really gravitating to you and really, really believing in you and ain't just saying it for the camera, that goes a long way and for that defense being so much better, because that's when the communication, right, fellas? That's when you don't mess up the calls on the back end from the front end. That's when you don't have where you supposed to be over here and you don't have that, because you have oneness, because you have a coach that bonded you. Y'all believe in the coach and y'all don't want to let him down. What was one of the things they kept on saying about Rod? They never wanted to let him down.
Yeah, good point, bro.
Yeah, great point. Listen, I mean, in my opinion, just going from that 3-4 nonsense to a 4-3 base with the athletes you have took them from number 28 to 29 and made them at least a top 20 defense. So you improved 9 or 10 spots with me just by simplifying and letting your athletes be athletes. And the Cowboys do have some good athletes, right? And so from the defensive end spot all the way across, they have some guys that can one gap, get up, and perhaps win one-on-one. From Gregory to Micah Parsons, if you look at a 4-3 under, to Van Der Esch, to Jalen. I mean, they have some pieces there. And the Cowboys historically were at their best, even in the Super Bowl runs, playing the 4-3 defense and having some athletes in key spots. And when I say key spots, I mean every level of the defense. So having at least 1 or 2 on the defensive line, having at least 1 or 2 from the linebacker position, and having a few solid, not all pros, all of them weren't all pros, but you had a few that were exceptional secondary players. And that was the recipe that caused the Cowboys to be competitive on the defensive side of the ball in the Super Bowl and win Super Bowls. So that's what you need. Draft athletes and guys that have the potential to be great athletes and let them be athletes and make plays and win one-on-one.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
Yeah, man, we still got some.
OC got a nice beat.
Yeah,
OC got a nice beat now too.
Man.
Did y'all get him? You got him together, boss?
Got him.
Oh yeah, man, he got me on point. So let's take a look at D. Lawrence here, who was just circled. He's knifing inside. He gets the sack there. So D. Lawrence really excels on twist, game, and stunts, right? So if you look at this view, here he is. He's dipping inside. He's finishing hard to the quarterback. Sack. Fantastic play. So if you continue to look at him again, you'll see him do some one-on-one different stuff, but you'll see him here with a really, really great get off, first of all. And so that's what's going to help him here. Fantastic get off, knife in the side. There he is again, stunt game. So again, D-Law excels using his athletic ability and catching slower players in space that cannot get off of a pass off games and actually get off on him. So you look at him here, and so really you got the guard and you got the tackle. They're responsible, but look at this. Look at the slow guard who doesn't even see him knife inside. He gets inside so fast, he does not come off the block, and he's clean for the tack. So here he is here. Again, at the top of the screen, they motion over. Here he is again, knifing inside, but finishing hard, man. Finishing hard to the quarterback with effort, right, and tenacity. And so you see him there making plays there. So if you look at his athletic ability and you look at his ability to change direction quick, use his hand, and finish strong toward the quarterback, those are the things that will cause him to excel with his hand in the ground. And that also, in my opinion, will cause Gregory and a few others to excel on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. And I think...
Hey, OC, I didn't mean to cut you off, boss. I just want to bounce off OC real quick with that. You know, when you were talking about D-Law, this came to me. I think you were talking about it, boss, about Brent Urban.
Mm-hmm.
When D-Law had his, what was his 14 and a half sacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was 2017, correct? Was that 2017?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was 2017.
Who was the defensive? Who was the defensive tackle?
That was David Irvin. I'm with you.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I was just thinking, he hasn't had a defensive tackle like that could put pressure up the middle, right? So you saw he got them sacks because he actually had a defensive tackle that could do some damage in the middle. That's why Brent Urban is going to be key for this defensive tackle position, because if he can really step up and do what the Cowboys need to, it makes D-Law even a better player, because I think you may have said it, boss, that we can collapse the middle now, and then D-Law can get to that edge and get these sacks. But we haven't had the defensive tackle position since Irvin left, so it's been putting more pressure on D-Law, because now they're like, there ain't nobody in the middle that we got to worry about. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure D-Law ain't going to do it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? We're going to make sure D-Law ain't going to wreck us, but we ain't scared of nobody in this middle. But if we can get a Brent Urban to do his thing, that makes it better for D-Law. So we really need those guys to do that.
I love the film assessment on D-Law and the way he utilized his hands to create separation and that speed. When you look back at all of those clips, like what Big Game James is lamenting too, and what you pointed out, single. He's single. There's no double team. There's nobody there to chip. And I believe in the hearts of hearts, if Brent Urban can be that wild card, and then they rotate Big Bo in, and he can be that wild card, and if anybody else, Osa to Navell Gallimore to Tristan Hill, whoever is going to win that battle, if they can win their one-on-ones, they're going to create all types of issues along that front five for the offensive line. So I'm bullish on D-Law as well as you guys are, and I think that this season we will see that extra flow from D-Law, that pressure. Look at him getting off of his stance right there, and I love it. He got chipped on that one, knocked down, still fight through and get to the tackle, so get to the sack there. So we like seeing that. I believe D-Law, like everybody said, one-on-one he'll win.
Yeah, he gonna win. And I think, and I'm seeing it setting up too, Law. I like that all-star cast that you broke down, because I think for me listening to Mike McCarthy, and they gonna use Gallimore as a 3-tech. They made that very clear. He's gonna be an interior pass rusher, which is saying all the terminology of 3-tech. So, and was showing, you know, the flash and the shirts and shimmels, but he was showing the flash. And we all saw him run that 4.79 electronic. That's electronic too. That mean that it
great
really,
get off.
Yeah, his get off. So
great get off.
I'm seeing the formation of the pieces that can make this defense not just better, way better. So,
and you know what? What else, boss? Osa and him can be a great combination. You know how we were talking about the Tristan Hill, and I'm definitely not giving up on Tristan Hill, but dog, we saw how that second half of the season, how Gallimore took that leap, right?
Yeah.
And Gallimore is just different in my opinion, because he has a mindset, he has a mentality that's different. That's what I love about Gallimore. He came in his rookie year like, hey, I belong here. You know what I'm saying? He had that attitude that we love. That's what we want. We want that nasty, Mr. Nasty time. I need Mr. Nasty time. So he was doing that. Now you see Osa. I know he ain't touched the field yet. I'm going it, bruh. I'm about him. You know what I'm saying? And if them two, because he was playing a lot of 1-tech at UCLA, and they're saying you're playing 3 here. So we should get excited about that, because the hand fighting, the wrestling that he does, that's more advanced, especially in that middle, in that tight spot, and you got good hand fighting, you really winning. And if those guys can really put that pressure with them one-on-one matchups and get up that middle, man, I'm getting a little excited, dog. I'm getting a little excited, man.
Hey,
the Grinch smile.
3 on the outside shoulder at that, so they ain't gonna kick him. He's not even gonna be there with the A gap, so he's gonna shoot all the way through the feet.
Feel me?
So you already know, when everybody look at Osa film assessment on what we did all of this offseason, he gets so low, and his get off, man, think about this. He's not gonna be asked to play quarter 1, quarter 2. This guy going to come in fresh in the 3rd and 4th quarter. That's where you get all of your gang of your sacks there. And on top of that, if you have a guy like Gallimore, if you have the guy like Tristan Hill, those guys, this is attack mode. This is no 2-gap situation nor scenario, Cowboy Nation. And call me crazy, but Tristan Hill, until that injury, he was showing some explosiveness. Check out his film assessment on that.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, he wasn't playing bad. You feel me? And he was showing that get off. Like, he was pretty decent in that run game. Like, he was attacking the ball, and when he got one-on-one matchups, he was getting in that backfield. He had a couple would-be sacks. One in that Seattle game where him and D-Law did a crunch on Russell Wilson. Also, he had a would-be sack. He just barely missed a Matt Ryan when he threw that touchdown against Chidobe Awuzie. He was right there. And there was another play where he almost had I know we're like, oh, that's almost, but he didn't get it. But, I mean, that's better because we didn't see any of that his first year. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
we didn't see any of that his first year. So I saw an improvement, and I feel like what we've been all talking about, competition brings the best out of you, and he knows if he don't bring it, this could be it. So that, and he's got guys on his tail, like, so he can't. Tristan Hill, like, maybe last year could probably say, who's behind me? Now you like, oh, he's behind me, I better be on my job, can't play around today.
Yeah, and y'all write this down. He had 8 solo tackles. That's hard to do when you talk about an interior defensive guy, and 9 quarterback pressure. So there's nothing to sneeze at as far as from his sample size of playtime. And I'm not pumping him up, Cowboy Nation. I'm not.
No, but you're speaking to his potential and his upside,
which
I agree with you, Law. I feel like he did show tremendous upside. I just hate that he got hurt because I would love to see what he did in the second half of the year. No, he was starting to come on. He was starting to come on.
He was. Come on. His hustle was tremendous too, and that's why I respect all the guys that's here, man. Because I watched everybody work. I watched Big Game work. I watched Law work. I watched the OC work. These guys break these boys down. So when Law talking about he's seeing the flash of Tristan Hill, that ain't guessing, brother. That is not guessing. That's
no guessing.
That's no guessing, bro. That's, you know, it's a privilege to work with these guys because it's a fact. Now, some fans may not know it, but if you did the film work, you definitely saw Tristan coming on. And that's why just listening to all you guys, I did get excited, man, just listening to everybody talk because it's so many different combinations that's going to open up the ultimate guy that we really want this open up for, right? This guy, you know? So Tank, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we got all these options.
And Randy. And
Randy.
Oh my God.
Jesus, man.
My gosh, Randy Gregory, dog. Like this, like I said, the Grinch smile. I'm gonna have to make a shirt, Mr. Nasty Time. We need to have Mr. Nasty Time on defense because we need to be nasty. But dog, let's really think about it. Randy Gregory with the full off season. Oh my gosh, he looks so much bigger. And remember when we talked, he's clear-minded. He's clear-minded. Oh my gosh, he don't gotta worry about nothing. And guess what? He wants a contract.
There it is.
Got all kind of motivation.
There it is.
He got all kind of motivation. You feel me?
Hey,
so you got a motivated. What's up?
Did I ever show you the sneaky smile that he did, bro?
Yeah, he did that little Grinchy smile.
Hold on.
I seen that smile.
Everything now, and I'm gonna do it.
How do you go about that this season?
Same way.
This isn't a question about your past, but your future. It's a contract year. What is that?
Look at that.
How do you go about? How do you go about that this season?
Same way I've always gone about it. You know, I should have already had a new contract.
About that contract year, man. He smiled like the Grinch for real.
For real,
right?
But you know what? Hey, Randy throws. You know what? Randy throws me off because when I listen to Randy, I'm like, the way he looks, he don't sound like he looks.
What you mean?
I'm saying what I look. There it is, right there. When he talks, I'm like, dang, that don't sound like what Randy Gregory sound like.
Okay, I got you.
He's like so like super like, hey, you know what I mean? It's like
super proper.
He is super proper, but there ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I am not mad at it. I love it. Randy Gregory gonna have a turn up season, and we talked about it, boss. Just watch this highlight right here. Don't look at that excitement.
Smooth.
Look at it. That look
Over his
natural.
toes.
Look at that. That look natural. That looks natural.
Just acceleration, man. Just change of direction, acceleration off the charts. And Randy has always had that. That's the thing. He just got to get enough snaps to capitalize on it. And this year, I think it's the year he's going to get enough snaps to really capitalize on it. And you're going to see, preferably, you might see 2 bookends with 10+ sacks this year. That's what I'm thinking.
They gotta have it with me and Boss. Me and Boss been talking about it. They both gotta get. They gotta get like 25 between them. Let's say 25 between them.
I'm going on record. Big game. I'm gonna call it right now. Both of these guys finished with double-digit sacks, barring injury. If they're not injured, if they play at least 15 games, both of them will have double-digit sacks this year. Both of them.
All right, so let me jump in here and ask y'all this. Since we're talking about these two right now, this is a perfect segue. Oh, y'all are so good. Y'all are so good. Perfect segue. Now. Yeah. D-Law, Randy Gregory. Who's the game changer?
I'm going to answer the question for you right now.
You can't answer it quite yet.
Okay. I got to wait my turn. All right, wait my turn.
You go, y'all go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I love being a Cowboy. You know,
big game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Okay, so
I want to hear y'all first.
Here, I'm about to give it to you. Here it is, guys. Here it is. And if you haven't heard it, you heard it here first. D. Lawrence is your game changer because he is more disruptive. He is more disruptive. Something the great Michael Strahan said later in his career. He said, I stopped focusing only on getting sacks, and I become more focused on disrupting the offense, being disruptive. So D. Lawrence is your game changer because he plays the run and the pass equally as well, and he gets double teamed pretty much more by percentage than anybody else in the league from the defensive end position. Randy Gregory, though, has the rawest pass rushing.
You got to pick what, OC. You can't do that.
All right, no.
I'm saying D-Law, but I'm explaining the difference. I'm giving you D-Law. I told you D-Law, but I'm saying Randy Gregory is more naturally raw and has the greatest upside as a pure pass rusher. D-Law is the most disruptive, and therefore he is your game changer.
This is what I'm going to say. D-Law is, I'm choosing one, I'm going with Randy Gregory. I'm going to do it. Now, listen, understand why. He don't have the body of work. He don't. So you really can't call him a game changer because he doesn't have the body of work. He hasn't played as long as D-Law. D-Law has done it, shown it, and done it, and he is disruptive. He's the tops of the league every single year in pressures as well, not just with the run game and coming off the edge, but he's a high pressure guy. But just like you said, OC, naturally though, Randy Gregory is the more elite. He is naturally the more elite player, and we see a full season with him. I think you're going to see more game-changing plays with Randy Gregory because of that natural elite athleticism. It's really going to show because last year we started to see not him just coming off there with that bend, because anybody who mentions Randy Gregory, what's the first thing they say? That damn bend. So he wasn't just coming off with that bend last year. He was showing some pass rush moves last year. He was showing that he could stop that run last year. So I'm thinking this full season and you gotta get paid, you are ready to explode and do some game-changing plays this year, and that's why I'm just gonna say he's gonna be the game changer this year.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sorry, Law, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to just jump in real quick.
I'll let y'all go.
Yeah. So listen, I agree. Yeah, that Gregory is the most naturally elite as a pass rusher. I don't think he's the more naturally elite player at this time. But in terms of just raw athleticism, raw pass rushing ability, change of direction, like you go see right there, Look at that. That twitch is uncommon, right? And so that's what makes him an offensive tackle's worst nightmare one-on-one, because you could get a perfect pass set on a guy like that, and he still can beat you. You'll be perfect. You'll be in perfect position. He'll get to the top of your outside shoulder, and he'll dip at the very last millisecond, turn the corner, and get that quarterback. So freakish athletic ability in terms of sacks, yes, absolutely. And actually, to your point, Big Game, he could end up being the higher sack guy out of the two this year. Actually,
that is the game changer.
I think so.
I think he can, but I think in terms of overall disruption and contribution on both sides of the run and pass game, I think that I'm going to side with D-Law on that. But listen, all excellent points, and Randy Gregory is an athletic freak, man. He's special. He's unique. He's more unique than people give him credit for. I'll tell you that.
I tell you this.
He's 2 Chainz. I'm different. Yes, I'm different.
Okay, Law. I think I'm ready. I had enough time to think. Okay. Man, this is the hardest game changer segment. This is harder than CD Lamb and Cooper. That was easy. Y'all was so wrong on that debate.
We were so right.
Notice how much Cowboy always does this. He always does it.
Y'all was so wrong on that, man.
We were so right. And you know why we were so right? Because Pro Football Network, PFF, they all started pumping out CD Lamb articles, so that lets me know they listened to us and they said, "You OC
articles."
They went around. Look, OC, they was
Did you
playing.
say articles?
Oh yes, OC. They was playing us everywhere. OC, we won on every level. They was playing us on every level, big dog.
Listen, Big Game. You know we had some credence when they started remixing our quotes. Well, hey, when they start remixing the quotes and putting them in articles, then you know we said something good.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all in the feed.
All right, back to the real debate, because that wasn't even no debate. That was a landslide by Law and myself.
That was too easy. That was you're right. That was step up next time, Law.
We just dunked on y'all on that one. That wasn't even
Get to your point. Get to your point.
That was more so,
get to your point.
That was more so a massacre. Okay.
Right. I know. You're still alive. I don't know how.
But guess what, man? Guess what, Big? This is hard, though.
You're going to agree with me, ain't you?
Yes, I'm going to agree with you, bro. I'm sorry with Randy Gregory as my game changer, man. I'm rocking with my dog because understanding that the 4-3 under is going to feature him. They already doing the experimental things like putting him at the Sam, putting him at the Leo. They showing all the signals that they go unleash him fully. He's had a full off season and hasn't had that since he was a rookie. He has low tread on his tires. He has about 20 pounds of extra weight that he usually got to put on himself doing PX 90 from the house. So he's fully in the facility. He is knowing that he's playing for the bag. So that incentive is great, man. So it's just like CD Lamb. Anybody that's betting on CD Lamb is betting right because it's already built for him to do well. It's the same thing with Randy. It's built for him to do well. Everything is built around him. I think the OC made some hellified points. Points. But it's one of those things I think it's just stacking up for Gregory, man. Just the scheme fit him. The pressure on Lawers for Tank. The pressure they go still want to double team Tank, just like they go want to focus on Cooper. It's go open up Lamb. They go focus on Tank. It's go open up Gregory.
They're not gonna be able to double team on balls, Cowboy, and that's the only flaw in your point.
So you want a box?
I'm just sharing something with you because you brought it up earlier. Is that come on. Empty the clip. Empty the clip.
Empty. I'm gonna load up over here too.
Empty the clip. Because here's the thing. When you have, we talked about Britt Urban. We also talked about Neville Gallimore in the 3-tech position with his tremendous get-off and the upside. If Tristan Hill can come back to form close to what he did before he got injured, Tristan Hill makes this team, and he has shown some pressure prowess. Quoted by D-Law on this show with the 9 pressures before he went down. With those combinations of effective one-gap pass rushers, you're going to be limited in your ability to double team D-Law. You just are, unless you're just going to run 21 personnel, or unless you always will keep a back in the backfield to chip him. But against back chips, it's been shown to be ineffective. I've seen D-Law win in many situations versus running backs trying to chip him. So therefore, the balance of the power will be more even when you have interior linemen that can win one-on-one. And that's the only thing that I see here that is going to limit, unless you just compress your offense and you're just going to run certain things because you're scared of D-Law, which could happen. I mean, it could happen, but it's going to limit your ability to exclusively double team him. And that's the difference this year.
Look at this. Don't forget that monster playing close to the line of scrimmage. Parsons.
Great point, Devin.
The dude.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great point.
Shit.
Yeah.
Great
So,
point.
I mean, everybody's bringing that, but here's the thing. We all known that, fellas. We've all said that Parsons gonna be a dog. We know Parsons gonna be an animal. And could you just imagine, y'all? D-Law, Parsons, Gregory, Gallimore, however you want to do a combination on a third down, and just say get him.
Get
him. Just rush.
Since y'all talking about these game changes,
Law, do a stunt with D-Law and Parsons. I'm a flip out.
They gonna do that.
Exactly.
They gonna shoot that kid everywhere, through the A, through the B. He gonna be having seat control and everything. But I will tell you guys this though. I looked at all of the Pro Football Focus, Pro Football Network, and both of them guys had D-Law at a certain level. There are only 3 other defensive edge guys that was ranked higher than him. Can you guys name them?
Preach it, D-Law. I mean, Law Nation.
Y'all name
Boza was
Joey.
Boza
That's
was
one,
right?
Right.
Boza. TJ Watt.
That's 2.
And who's the other DN who was turning up?
I got that camera on you too, so you got.
Was it Cameron Haywood from the Saints or whatever?
Cameron Jordan was number 8.
Cameron Jordan, yeah, I was.
He's number 8.
Who was the other guy? What was the other?
You Miles Turner?
D-Law graded higher. D-Law graded higher than Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett, excuse me.
Oh no,
Hey, Law.
I'm taking Miles Garrett.
D-Law graded higher than Chase Young.
Law.
What people are doing.
I give me 1 second. I gotta give my boy Big because he at least got 2 of them.
Oh yeah, I gotta give him some.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he got 2 of them. Let's give my boy some props on that, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He graded higher than Khalil Mack too.
Yeah, Khalil Mack 1, TJ Watt number 2, Joey Bosa number 3, DeMarcus Lawrence ranked number 4 collectively. I know that people grade sacks as the highest of the highest totem pole, but D-Law graded number 4. Now, what you guys are trying to quantify is that all of a sudden Randy Gregory, who never been in that spot before, is going to trump that particular number and level of production, which I can tell you, me and the OC, we wish that can happen. We really want that to happen for our dog over there, Randy, get down, blaze him up, Gregory. So, but I'm telling everybody right now, you leave those one-on-ones on D-Law, it's going to be trouble. I know people got a lot of nasty taste in their mouth from D-Law, but I'm going to tell you guys, man, he's my game changer. D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence, watch how he step out. And I'm not just saying it because he's the Laws. It's going to go down, baby, like 5 billion pounds. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Go Skrill, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
Damn, Law. See, That's how Law do it.
Come on, some
Law
fire.
just wait to the
He on
end.
some fire today. He got me thinking. He got me thinking on that one. Like, damn, okay.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, maybe.
And the only thing I'll say is this, and you know, hey, you know, I love all you guys, man. You know, Boss Cowboy, you my man, all the respect in the world, right? And we argue a lot offline and stuff like that. And just so y'all guys know, it don't matter what we do on the show, man. That's my partner, so we go hard at each other and say crazy stuff. But that's my dog, like 2,000%. It don't really matter. But I'm gonna say this, Boss Cowboy. Right? And you've been the master of this, right? You've been the master of this. You've always said in debates, go with production, go with the facts, go with the stats. And so right now, a little bit, Boss Cowboy, you kind of breaking that rule, right? You're breaking that rule to try to quantify Randy Gregory because you see that freak of athleticism. Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. So that's what I'm saying. Go with the stat line, go with the production, go with the history, man, and it's going to lead you right back to DeMarcus Lawrence.
Hey, DOC, you want me to tag you again, dog? Let me tag you right quick. Let me tag you right quick for the stat line for your mind, okay? D-Law had 47 pressures.
Yep.
36 stops. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. We talking about stops, right? 41 solos. Okay. Hey. 34 hurries. Oh, let me jump over to my dog Randy Blaze him up Gregory.
Oh, Blaze. Don't do that. Hold on. I'm gonna stop you.
I'm gonna stop.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish, big game.
No, I can't. No, I'm about. Okay.
Let him finish. Let him finish, big game.
I'm gonna get him.
Go ahead, let him finish.
Hey, it's the average total sum. I'm not saying that, hey, if you qualify it with the fact that Marcus Lawrence played more games and more snaps. Of course, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is collectively, he didn't get that amount of pressures when he was granted the time and opportunity. Now, what I can tell you guys, that DeMarcus Lawrence is always good against stopping the run. Those stops and those pressures that he brings to the table is pretty much second to none. That's why he's ranked so high, because of his run stopping ability. Randy Gregory, he might just be the best sack artist on his team, but he got to prove it to us. He have not gotten a chance or gave a chance to get 10 to 14 sacks in one season. So this year, he got to give it to us. He got to show us. That's all I'm saying.
Is it my turn now?
It's your turn.
It's your turn, big homie. It's your turn, brother.
I hear you what you're saying, Law. But see, you was showing me. You just showed me where they was ranked with Pro Football Focus with the top four. There was 3 ahead of them. You was telling me all that, Law. But then I looked down and I compared their numbers, per PFF. I know we don't go all off of that. Yeah, but it said it had D-Law at 88.6 and Randy Gregory at 80.5. And then it said rush defense, run defense had D-Law at 79.7 and Randy Gregory at 79.4. Then it had pass rush 85.7 D-Law and 81.9. So he wasn't far behind on a lot of things. And then we also know that we heard a lot of things how Mike Nolan was not playing Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory was not playing in them games he was supposed to be playing.
He rolled out of bed and did that.
So basically, he was just getting all this off of Tick, because you were saying, well, he didn't get the much time as D-Law, but that was Mike Nolan's fault. He went to the coaches and said, why am I not playing?
Good point.
Everybody in Cowboys land is saying, why is Dorrance Armstrong Jr. in the game and Randy Gregory's on the bench? You feel me? So those numbers are a little skewed this year because Randy Gregory didn't get that tick this year because we had a goofy coach.
Right. And the only thing that I love looking at the stats or what have you, but if you stroll a little bit further on down, it says run defensive snaps. 83. It says 83 for Randy Gregory, right? For that number ratio. Run defensive snaps for DeMarcus Lawrence. 262. Let that sink in. For him to hold that number base at 79.7, which is high up tier, at 262 snaps, he's doing his homework. That's why he got those 36 stops, 4 forced fumbles, 34 hurries, 47 pressures.
Look, I just wish that everybody would admit what it is. We think Randy Gregory is a freak athlete, but he has not put up the production at this point. We are hopeful that he will put up great production. We think he can put up great production, but he has not put up great production. So stop reaching, and me and Law stop teaching. Okay, just stop it.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm gonna jump in that OC when you're saying D-Low's been in the league how long? He's been since what? 2014. Right. 2014, what'd he do?
I don't know.
2015, he got 8 sacks at the end of the year. No, at the playoff game, he was hurt. He's been hurt his whole career. He just showed up in 2017, and that was his contract year. Okay? So when you're saying that, I need to see that because he wasn't doing that his first 3 years. He had 9 sacks in his first 3 years. And they were talking about he could be a bust. So he's just now turning up. And I get what you're saying. Randy Gregory hasn't done it, but we also understand what was preventing him from doing it as well. That's no excuse for him. But it's not like D-Law came in from 2014 and been killing the Cowboys this whole time.
Okay. No, you're right. You're lying. But shout out to Randy Gregory one time.
So y'all know.
Weed every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I was waiting for it. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I was waiting for it. I was like, when's he going to play it? I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Ready for it.
That was easy.
I'm waiting on you guys. To quiet down.
Go ahead.
I'm waiting. Do I have everybody's attention? Purge time. It's purge time on this game changer, man.
I'm sitting back on this. I'm sitting because I already know what you about to do. Go ahead. I already know exactly what you about to do. Go ahead.
Hit it one more time for me, man.
Law with my head up and everything. I'm dead serious on this too. Listen, man. I just gotta just kind of see big. I see what they did. They was smooth.
I see what they did too. They was great with it. It was
what they
awesome.
did is they changed the narrative of the debate. Oh, yes, I am, sir. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, man. See, what they did is they start trying to talk about history. They changed it. No, the debate is game changer, not history class. See, that's what y'all tried to do. And see,
I'm glad you caught it.
It's not working over here, man. It's not working. See, it's not working. I have to just give y'all the facts. See, sometimes, y'all got my boy Steve. He said, "Boss, stick to the facts." And listen,
Thank you, Steve.
Facts, no. He was saying, stick to my trend. See, but there are certain times you can break your trend when you see the right signals, and all the signals are clear, man. And see, that's what y'all not addressing. Okay. The Leo, the Sam. The amount of he gonna be coming from the blind side. He got the extra weight. He got the full off season. He fell out of bed to Big Game James' point and got him 6 sacks. Fell out of bed. It's almost like looking at CeeDee Lamb. I shouldn't even have to give this example again. But we all knew without one snap that CeeDee Lamb was gonna ball. Why did we know? Because he had potential number 1 ability coming in as the number 3. We didn't have to count the money. We knew it was good. It was ready to spend. So, yes, Gregory is likely going to be the game changer. With respect to Tank, I'll respect that he also is cold as hell and go erupt too. But the guy that is perfectly positioned for it, and y'all not being honest on this, OC and Law, I hate to be debating Law, because me and Law whooped Big Game James and OC. I know.
See, when somebody always wants to claim a victory, they know they lost.
Exactly.
Me and OC don't talk about it. Me and OC don't talk about it. We already know we won. But when somebody always got to keep telling themselves they won, they know they lost.
He ain't trying to convince the fans. He's trying to convince himself.
Yeah, he's trying to convince himself.
He's trying to convince himself.
Yeah, because he know it was a slaughterhouse. We slaughtered him. It was slaughter to the lambs.
So because listen, my partner over there, Boss Cowboy, reneging, because we use historical data, and now you saying don't use historical data because now you fighting the same argument against what we said a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly.
That means that you should be saying that CeeDee Lamb is the game changer.
Exactly.
That's Boss say you losing ground, man. We using historical data. Amari Cooper. Look, Dak Prescott threw for 455 yards against the Eagles. Majority of those yards came from Amari Cooper. That's why we said, hey, Amari Cooper was the game changer. Now you said don't use historic data.
Don't do that because CeeDee Lamb was on the team that day, was he?
It's the trends, and it's how they gonna be used. See, you got to use the full context. See, y'all not using the full
and
context.
CeeDee Lamb and Randy Gregory. I'm 2 for 2. Thank y'all. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. I won with Randy. Y'all know I won, and me and OC won with CeeDee. Now let's jump on these linebackers, and you already know who I'm saying.
You trying to move the subject down?
Y'all can be talking about that on your own. Matter of fact, final words.
I got you right. Final words. Gonna come up, but that secondary, I got a game changer too. I'm gonna beat all y'all in everything on game changer. Period.
So really quickly to your point, Big Game James, which I'm sorry, Big Game, on this one, you're kind of not right, bro, because you tried to go back and utilize the early career stats of a DeMarcus Lawrence, right? That's what you did. That's what you did. Well, let's counter that point. Right? If we're going to have everything being equal with Randy Gregory, okay? So Randy Gregory's first year in the league, how many sacks did he have? Zero. Randy Gregory's second year in the league, how many sacks did he have? Wait a minute.
Okay.
What? He had 1 sack. Now, Randy Gregory had 6 sacks in 2018, 2020, 2019.
Notice he say rookie though. Notice he say rookie year.
Rookie year 2015.
Put the gun away, man.
Wait a second. Rookie year 2015 already said that. He had 0 sacks, goose egg, and he played in 12 games. He played in 12
How many did D-Law have his rookie year?
Can you repeat
How many did D-Law have his rookie year?
He played his. So no. So what I'm saying, if you look at the early season, if you look at, wait a second, you want to cut me out? Wait a second.
Okay.
So Marcus, look, Boss Cowboy, hit all them buttons all day. Boss Cowboy, hit all them buttons all day. All right. So look, DeMarcus Lawrence's first year. I'm gonna finish this last point and I'm done. DeMarcus Lawrence's first year in 2014, he had 0 sacks.
Exactly.
But his second year, wait a second. His second year, the production dramatically increased. He had 8 sacks. He was
at
injured.
The end of the year, the second half of the season.
Okay. Wait a second. He had 1 sack. He was injured several games, and he played injured the whole year. He had 14.5, 10.5, right? 5 and 6.5. So if we look at overall production based upon the trajectory of the career and productivity, you would have to say, if you're looking at trends, Boss Cowboy, you would have to say the trends suggest that DeMarcus Lawrence will be and has been more productive.
And the truth shall set you free.
Right. No, I can't take that. can't take that.
Come back here. Come back here. Come back.
I can't take that because, like I said, when I look at the trajectory of the careers, Randy Gregory's career got sidelined. So that and he messed that up. So I can't use that. But as I said before,
you can.
When Randy's rookie year, no sacks. D-Law's rookie year, no sacks. His second year, he didn't get 8 sacks until the second half of the season, and he's been hurt his majority of his career. And then in 2016, he played He played pretty much the whole season. He didn't get no sacks and had to end the year on injured reserve because he was hurt again. D-Law.
D-Law had a playoff game, though.
We got to take it to the
playoff
fans.
game. I know the playoff game don't count.
D-Law actually did have a sack.
We got to take it to the fans.
So that's what I'm saying. He had 9 sacks in 3 years. His first 3 years, he had 9 sacks.
Tell him, Big. All right.
How many did Gregory have? Big game. How many did Big Gregory have?
Oh, but he wasn't playing. And when he did play, what did he do? 2018. I'm just saying when he finally got some significant time and played, he got what 6 sacks on half a year.
Half a year.
Half a year.
Tell him
half a year. OC.
Half a year.
Half a year.
Great, guys. Thank you for your
That
6 sacks.
is a tremendous pace for a guy that rolled out of bed.
Thank you for being a great athlete.
OC.
Thank you.
OC, I need you to answer a question. I really do.
Okay.
Answer this question. Do you do home workouts? Be honest.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do home workouts.
You do home workouts like PX90. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Not that, but yeah, I see what you're saying. No, not that, but yes.
No, not that specific, but you do it, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want y'all to recognize that the OC has admitted under oath that he does home workouts.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say that Gregory also, because he couldn't work out with the team, had to get himself ready with similar style workouts?
No.
So
wrong. You're reaching. You're completely reaching because you can hire a trainer. You're a pro athlete. You are completely reaching. You are completely reaching.
No, I'm not.
He could hire a trainer.
No, see, listen.
He could get training at the house. He could go work out.
Tell you why I'm
not
reaching.
Work out with the team.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm not reaching. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not.
See, you know, home training is different than field training. You know that, OC.
Exactly, and another thing too, Big, that he trying to ignore. Man, Gregory didn't have a lot of money. Are you serious?
And he's never been with the team. Whenever he's been in trouble, he has to stay away from the facility. He can't have no contact with nobody. So it's like he's coming off natural ability.
Exactly, bro. That's working out with trainers, rolling out of bed and getting 8 sacks at the second half of the year. And
so
coming in already bigger and faster.
What's he gonna do with a whole season? And guess what?
That's game changing.
Also, D-Law is not a great rusher standing up. Randy Gregory can rush that passer standing up too.
Thank you, bro.
All true.
Hey, it's all gonna be good at the end of the year because if both of these guys balls out the way we thinking, man, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
So we'll let the people, we'll let the nation speak, man. Anybody in the chat, man, y'all go ahead and post down below who would be the game changer.
Yeah, post the game change after 2. This is a hard one too. This is a hard one. Very hard one. Like I could have debated both sides on this. I really could. I wasn't gonna be shady like that. I meant my answer though. Final words. I started off this time.
All right.
And I won't say nothing else.
He go try.
No, I won't.
He gonna try. He trying hard. Go ahead, Post.
Yeah, it's cool.
He trying hard.
Don't take your sweet time, OC. Take your time. Show out all you want. Do all.
I'm done. I'm done.
Final words. Now, man. Final words. I co-sign again what Big Game James said 100% that we can't do nothing about hard knocks this year. It's gonna come down to the leadership. That's gonna be our guys in that locker room. Great final words. And also I'm very excited when you see the former head coach also say what Sean Lee talked about, the simplification of the defense, which is going to help our guys play faster. So we getting more and more confirmation that it's going to come together. It's just when is it going to come together? So my final words is we getting ready for camp, and it's going to be crazy. I'm crazy good.
I'll go next right quick. Mine's going to be quick. I just want to jump on Dak Prescott one more time, man. One thing, my final word is, have we just seen a leader like this since Troy Aikman, man?
No.
Like, for real. Like, when you see him in the media, he is doing what we want, y'all. You feel me? That's why I don't understand why so many people be hating on him. We wanted a quarterback like this, y'all. This is what we wanted to succeed around. We were like, man, Romo's so good, but if he get hurt, we need a quarterback. Well, guess what? The gods shined on us, y'all. The gods shined on us and gave us a quarterback we wanted. Not just a great quarterback on the field, but off the field. And I'm telling you that leadership is nothing to be taken lightly.
Right.
And I feel like that is going to be a determining factor this year. Dak Prescott's leadership. Watch what I tell you.
Perfect. I'm waiting for it.
Perfect.
Oh man, my bad. Oh man, y'all.
We did it together.
Right.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, my bad. Ooh. Hey, we're a basketball team. I'm learning, y'all. All right.
It's all good. Come on, OC. You know Law be going last.
Man, we know Law go fast. OC trying to go last.
Okay.
No. Your voice our weak, old cracky voice self. Try to go last. You know you don't go last.
No mercy here, man. Look, y'all see how they treat those in here, man. Look.
Yeah, because you deserve it. You deserve it.
So look, man, final words, man, is this. Listen, excited to see what happens in camp. I think it's going to be a lot of healthy competition. Yeah. And to the Randy Gregory and D-Law debate, really, I don't care who's right. I want to see the productivity and the pressure on the quarterback along with Michael Parsons and the emergence of some of these young defensive tackles mixed in with some of these rookie tackles. I think that the cream of the crop will rise to the top, and that regardless of the cameras is going to increase the level of focus and determination for guys to excel, which I think all lends to healthy productivity for this coming year. And also, real quick, Boss Cowboy Sports, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can follow the OC on Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter. And that is my final word.
Yes, indeed, man. Hey, everybody's seen fire before, and certain fire needs accelerant, something that can keep this thing going. So my thing is, Cowboy Nation, that accelerant will be Dan Quinn. If he is able to get both of these guys on this defensive front, whether it's Randy get down Gregory, blaze them up, or whether it's D-Law who can dip that shoulder and just get upfield, use hand techniques. So we will find out whether or not this guy, Quinn, can be the accelerant. And I think that he should be able to do that. Let's not sleep on Basham, Bradley, and I, too. They got that band kind of sort of like your guy, Randy Gregory. So if he can figure out ways to utilize the complete team and not a piece of the team and not play the political football and get these guys to be hungry, I tell everybody all the time, y'all might want to write this down, PhD mentality, poor, hungry, and determined to make it happen. And in order for that to happen, these players got to believe within themselves. And like my dog, Big Game James, who's the star of this show, talked about the leadership out of Dak Prescott. We need Dak Prescott to look into this situation and say, hey, let's focus on winning. Let's not worry about HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, all of that stuff. It don't matter. Don't care about the YouTubers, Facebook guys. No, we're going to stay focused. Hey, Dak Prescott, even shut out your own brother. Let's not even bring him into the mix. Let's just focus on putting the W-I-N on this team, and let's go. Cowboy Nation, we out. Final word.